What's happening, friends? Welcome to episode 79 of the Game Moose podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Turford, alongside the ghost with the most, Drew McMillan.
Hey, what's up, party people?
And the Brock star himself, Brock McLaughlin, is also here.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, you know, we're just talking about life because it's very sunny outside. The weather does not know what the hell it wants to do with itself. It's very exciting.
It's sunny, it's cold. It was raining before, but now it's not. The lake is slowly creeping up. Soon, the Game Moose Studios will be at the bottom of the lake.
Yep.
It'll be the Lost Studio of Atlantis.
Excellent.
It'll be the first podcast recorded underwater on a constant basis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Eat your heart out, James Cameron.
Oh God.
Yeah. We got that underwater money too. You know.
Hells yeah. So on today's show, we are going to talk about Square Enix dropping IO Interactive and that whole fiasco.
Oh boy.
We're also going to talk about the future of the Mass Effect series. Of course, it's just fitting that I'm wearing my Mass Effect hoodie while talking about the history, the Mass Effect series. And of course, we're going to talk about Brock's favorite thing in the whole world, the Zelda escape room.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Mario Lopez hosting a new show, but sure.
Well, we're going to talk about that too.
That's in the news. It's just not at the top of the headlines.
But first,
God.
So this week, in fact, on Wednesday night, we had the esteemed pleasure of going to the Injustice 2 Canadian launch event here in Toronto.
Yes, we did.
Thanks to our friends, of course, at LexPR for inviting us, and of course WB. So let's talk about what we thought about the event itself, what we thought about Injustice 2. We made a short video going over our impressions. You can check that out at the Game Moose YouTube page, which we don't have a custom URL just yet. Just search for Game Moose on YouTube and it comes up right away.
Yeah.
So Drew, since in the video you were behind the camera and didn't really get a chance to talk, tell us what you thought of the event.
It was a real swank affair, real classy. We walked in and there was some gentleman playing modern pop tunes on the piano. It was cool. We got there nice and early, so we got to go. We got to go talk to Ed right away. He wasn't being swarmed with media.
That's correct. Ed Boon was in the audience, ladies and gentlemen.
So we went over. We chatted with Ed a little bit. We shot the poop. We talked a little bit about like one of my favorite things is we talk about like Mortal Kombat. You know, we love that game and sort of like the idea of they love secrets in their games and like hidden things. And he teased in the Q&A a little bit later on. He's like, yeah, there's some things to find in this game. So that's pretty fun. And then we got to play. Ryan, you and I, we got to play the game, which was a lot of fun.
We played a few matches, and we'll go over those in a second.
We did. While Toronto hip hop legend Cardinal Official looked on.
There's actually a sweet picture of us playing and Cardinal Official's watching us play.
He was laughing at my funny dog versus cat joke as we were playing Trocidus versus Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
Trocidus has a little flying cat buddy, some kind of strange space cat, and Harley Quinn. For the record, I don't know. I don't fuck all about Trocidus. I don't know. Yeah. He's a Red Lantern, which means he's like a Green Lantern, but he's red, and the governing emotion for the color red is anger. So he's mad. And he pukes on you a lot. He vomits blood or red stuff. I'm not sure. Yeah. But then there were hyenas, and it was a real fucking shit show.
Harley Quinn loves the hyenas.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a fun game. It's you know, I didn't spend a lot of time playing the first Injustice game, but just like those games, the nice thing about it is there's an approachability to it. You can just pick it up and kind of play it and have a good time.
Yeah, like that was my big takeaway was that it seemed very easy for people who are very new to the series or people like who are just not that great at fighting games to really get into.
Mortal Kombat 10 was that same way though.
Yeah.
I do not like fighting games. So that was easy to hop in and play a few rounds and not actually lose terribly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, we had a good time. One of the things I love about it is really easy to do the cinematic, finisher attacks or whatever. Mm-hmm. Those are a lot of fun, though. You blocked me like multiple times.
I'm pretty good at blocking, though, because I'm used to that from Marvel vs. Capcom, because they work actually very similarly to Marvel vs. Capcom supers. Yeah. So if you know like just the right timing to block them, to block, then they're pretty easy to block. But you just have to, like the idea with those is to basically chain them. So if once you get better at Injustice 2, you can then chain the combos together with the supers. and then you'll hit them every time basically.
And they're very cinematic, very cool looking.
Oh yeah, each one was very unique.
Yeah,
looked pretty
absolutely.
different.
Yeah, and then of course there's the environment abilities where you can
Just like Mortal Kombat 10.
you can grab a bear trap and throw it at someone, or throw someone into the background, or
Exploding
whatever.
barrel.
Yeah,
You can throw fridges.
Yep. It was a lot of fun. We talked to AJ Fry from Inner Space. He was there too, and with a bunch of other friends and colleagues, which was nice. We got to catch up with some people.
Yeah, just a ton of people, of course, from the Toronto game coverage scene. Basically, they were all there, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play the game. I was too busy talking to everyone.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you came late. To
I
be
did come
fair,
late,
and
yes.
you came late for a good reason. It wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you said it was a classy affair, and then I walked in, and it just went.
It
Hell
went
broke
to
loose.
shit when Brock got there. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed Boon actually spends a lot of time in Toronto. He was saying.
Yeah, that's what he was telling
He
us.
was
Yeah,
head here.
Ed's got family in the city, and so he's up here quite a bit, which is cool.
Yeah. That would
Yeah.
explain, of course, why they had the event there. Just in general, is just that I didn't actually know that until after. I should have probably researched.
It's
that.
not something we're used to. We don't usually get events quite like this.
Yeah. Well, he's from Chicago. Like, how many people from Chicago want to come out here?
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Well, to be Chicago's not far.
I know.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun.
I didn't play Injustice 2, but I did play the mobile game, and the mobile game is really good.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
awesome.
They did have the
Yeah,
mobile game because
it's free.
they launched it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, the mobile version launched the same day.
No, it
Yeah.
came out Friday.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're telling us there it was out that day.
Oh no, it wasn't released till like midnight on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It was really good. It's really good. It
Yeah.
looks amazing, and
Yeah.
it's a totally different port. Like it is
Yeah.
made for mobile.
Yeah.
And it like translates really well.
I remember actually the Mortal Kombat 10 one not being that bad either, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't play that one.
Yeah.
I played the first Injustice on mobile.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, and it there's crossplay too
Nice.
between the console version and the mobile version.
That
So you
seems-
can like upgrade your stats and then use them on the console version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
Not like you can't fight players, but you
Yeah.
can get
Yeah.
like points and stuff. That
Okay,
you can
so
use
you-
on
you can
armor
earn
and stuff
your-
in the
your-
game. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Armor
that's the one thing that we didn't see was the gear system. None of that. We didn't see any of that at all.
No.
Which is, there's going to be like random loot drops, and you can kind of like customize your character to look a little bit different, but it'll also buff your fighter in different ways. So we don't know exactly how that works. No, we didn't see that in action because we were just doing like straight up versus matches, and we weren't unlocking anything. It seems to be a little. I don't know, I guess a little Overwatchy or something like that, like where you get like loot boxes at the end of matches, and that gives you gear.
That was the same way in Mortal Kombat, but you couldn't get gear,
no.
right?
No,
No,
there,
gear
was,
system.
there was the whole thing with the what was it, the catacombs or the crypt?
Yeah.
The crypt is what I'm thinking of, and I really hated it.
Was that the tower thing?
No, the crypt was like it was like a thing where you wandered around and unlocked stuff.
Oh
It was-
yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Boring.
It's kind
Yeah.
of
Boring, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Drew. I just wanted to get lost in your eyes there for a
I
minute.
know, I understand.
There we go.
They are quite beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Same with me. I mean, I really love just the event in general. I thought it was fantastic. I think they did a pretty good job. There was also some really awesome art on display as well. We didn't talk about that.
Yes, we saw like there was a really really stunning mural that Ed told us is the first time he's seen it assembled. They've only seen it in pieces.
Yeah.
And it's the first time. It was actually drawn as one big piece, but it was the first time it was like printed out and put as one continuous piece, which was really cool.
Yeah.
There was also some Toronto comic book artists who were there drawing some stuff.
Yeah.
So we actually watched them
Like
draw
in person.
Yeah.
It's pretty
And then
sweet.
there was some beautiful art like hung on the walls.
Yeah. Bunch of concept art.
Bunch of concept art. There are also some MMA fighters who were there as well, who I didn't talk to at all. It was a bit of a surprise that they were there.
Yeah.
But okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
The last WB event they had was for Lego Star Wars, and it was at the Dome, and they had a bunch of Blue Jays playing it on the big screen.
Right.
It was very odd. Seemed to like have that kind of weird connection they do. The UFC fighters I don't get either.
All right.
It is a fighting game.
It is a
Yeah,
fighting game,
it
sure.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. There are also some prominent esports people in the community that were there too. So
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a lot of fighting people just in general were at that event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I wasn't very hyped on this game, but after that, I really am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really
I
just
wasn't-
want to like play with the Flash.
Yeah.
I wasn't hyped with it until after we went on hands on with it, and like as soon as we started playing it, I was like, "All right, I'm in."
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And just like you, Drew, I'm really excited to see how the armor system's going to work, how the equipment system's going to work down the line, how much that's really going to affect your character, and if it's really going to cause an imbalance with multiplayer, in the sense that what if you're like playing against someone who has all the upgrades or have a ton of upgrades and you only are so far, how much will that affect gameplay? So I'm just curious to see how much that's going to impact things.
Yeah.
For especially on the competitive scene, like will they have like base layouts that you can use at Evo when this is an Evo thing? Because they announced as well that they're planning a big push for esports for this game.
It
Yeah.
sounds like Armor won't be involved
Okay.
in the esports at all.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
gonna
you can
be
play without
banned.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would suspect there might be some
They're gonna-
balancing challenges that they don't want to get into.
Yeah, it has to be on level
Yeah.
playing ground, so I
Okay.
don't think you can use the armor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I should point out the matches that Drew and I had when we were playing, just so we people have a good idea of what characters we played as. So our first match, I played as Supergirl. Drew played as Black Adam.
Yes.
Because Drew wanted to play as the obscure characters, and I wanted to play as the normie characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
So
I really like Supergirl.
Yeah, I really like Black Adam. If you've seen, there's a Black Adam like it was like something Black Adam like animated, like Shazam animated movie.
Yeah.
That DC did. That's really awesome. It's really great. But yeah, Black Adam ended up totally not being cool like I thought he would be.
No, he was a bruiser, you were saying.
Yeah, he was like really slow. I thought he was going to be more Superman-y, where he was going to like zip around the screen a little bit more. He's a little bit more of like a ranged control kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Harley Quinn versus Atrocitus, which we talked about.
I loved Atrocitus. He was a lot of fun. Yeah. He was pretty slow. I think he's a big, bulky dude. But he's got all these weird like synergy things with his little flying cat buddy who like does like when he's in or when he's not out.
Yeah.
He does certain things depending on when his cat is
And
active.
I was really surprised with Harley Quinn because she was very much a ranged fighter. She's almost reminded me of Jill Valentine from Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
That's what she reminded me of with like summoning her hyenas or throwing grenades and stuff. It seemed like
Shooting her
sort of out of place with that character. But I still kind of liked her combat. Next up, we had Wonder Woman versus Captain Cold.
Yeah, Captain Cold sucks.
That sucks. I really like Captain Cold.
Well, he's got a really cool throw and he looks cool.
Yeah.
But again, I think he had.
I didn't know how to play him. I didn't know what was going on.
He
there.
seems like a very technical fighter.
Is Mr. Freeze in this one too?
I
don't think so. I think they
I
might
don't
have
think you could have Captain Cold and Mr. Freeze.
They're pretty much the exact same
That's
person.
too confusing.
Maybe the moveset are the same.
Yeah.
Because I again, you played as him, but don't remember too much about the first Injustice. So we don't know.
He
really
was in the
we can't
first one,
compare
I
them.
think, if I remember correctly.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'd have to look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course Wonder Woman. She plays exactly like she did in Injustice 1, just
Yeah.
with a couple new moves, but it's
cool.
pretty much the same. She's cool.
Her ultimate is much cooler now.
Yeah. It looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's her all on her own doing cool stuff.
Yeah. Last but not least, we had Batman versus Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
Drew, of course, kicked my ass as Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate is fucking awesome.
Dr. Fate looks awesome in action.
He's a cool looking character. Like I've always liked the design of Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate, for those of you who don't know, is kind of like DC's. He's like he's like their Doctor Strange. He's like this mystical character. He's very, very cool. And yeah, he's fast. He flies. He's got a good mix of ranged and close up attacks. And yeah, he's a lot of fun. Yeah, I like him a lot.
It's a side note. He showed up in the Goonies expansion like really randomly. It's so bizarre. He just pops his head in for like a minute.
That's really weird.
It's really weird and out of place.
Dr. Fate is in the Goonies expansion?
Yeah, he shows up for like a minute and then takes you through a portal into another like Goonies level.
So is Raven,
it's
apparently.
really weird.
That is really strange.
Yeah. That's just Lego Dimensions.
Does WB own Goonies?
Yeah, it's part of the Lego Dimensions. Yeah. I don't necessarily know if they own it, but it's part of Lego Dimensions. In fact, we're talking about.
I guess like DC superheroes are part of Lego Dimensions.
Yeah.
For the launch of the Goonies, they did a Batman video,
Right.
and Batman was making fun of Sloth's Superman shirt.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, because they love to do the crossover stuff like that. Again, there's probably you played it, so I mean you'd be able to elaborate more on like the crossover stuff that they did. But a lot of times they'll mix in like Back to the Future with like Lego Batman and some other stuff. Like it's pretty cool.
Dr. Fate just seemed really random because I don't think there's a Lego Dimensions Dr. Fate character or anything. No,
there's no minifigure or anything.
Maybe they were planning him for year 3, and then whatever happens with year 3, we'll find out.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Please, more Lego Dimensions.
Please, all the Lego Dimensions.
They talked about it like it was still a thing happening at this event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I still think, despite what we're hearing, that there'll probably be a thing.
I think we need a second Lego Dimensions 2, and some new puzzles and new kind of elements added.
Yeah.
Because it's getting a little stale now.
Right.
Yeah.
But have have a new portal, but works with all the old figures. Like that would be amazing.
Can we talk about Goonies for just 1 second?
Sure.
When I was in film school, I wrote a spec script for a sequel to the Goonies, and it was about like many years later. Sloth had grown old and lonely, and like he missed Chunk because like they had been separated by time, and they just like grown apart. And he wanted it was about him trying to find where Chunk was, because he didn't actually know his real name either. Like he just knew him as Chunk. So it was like him like wandering around America, kind of like Forrest Gump style, like bumbling into things, because he realized he had like a very intense romantic interest in Chunk. And the name of the movie was called Goonies 2. Getting Chunk in my bunk.
Of course it was.
I liked it up until the name.
Yeah. No?
I was picturing like a Louis HBO kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
Chunk in my bunk, I don't know.
20 minutes into the show, and the show is already off the fucking rails. Congratulations.
I would watch it, though.
Yeah.
Was that actually the plot line of Goonies 2, the video game, though?
No.
Isn't that your favorite video
Not at
game,
all.
Ryan?
It actually isn't that bad.
It is not a forlorn love lost journey to find
From Milan to Minx.
to find Chunk. Yes, from Milan to Minx. Yeah.
So before we move on, I just wanted to let the listeners know, of course, next week we're going to be doing a review discussion of Injustice 2. So if you have any questions about Injustice 2 at all, please let us know at gamemoosecast@gmail.com. That's gamemoosecast@gmail.com. Or hit us up on Twitter at game_moose_cast, and we'll answer them. So if you send us questions, we'll answer them about the game, because we will all be playing it this week.
Yep.
Good place to say plug, send nudes as well. We're still waiting on those hot nudes.
Brock's still waiting for his hot nudes. He's still
Yeah.
Brock hard. He's waiting.
Oh God.
Any day now.
Yeah.
We can't bring a camera anywhere without someone saying that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just not the same.
Yeah.
All right, topic 2. Square Enix released their financial report this week because it was their end of fiscal year. They reported that they had higher sales than last year.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, of course, it's great. This is all great news, right?
However-
Everything's good and sunny and happy.
However, they have decided to actually part ways with IO Interactive.
Oh fuck.
IO Interactive, the maker of Hitman,
Yeah.
Kane and Lynch,
Yeah.
Mini Ninjas,
Yep.
some other small franchises, but mostly Hitman. They pretty much made all the Hitman
No,
games.
mostly mini ninjas.
Yeah, mostly Mini Ninjas. They also made that game Freedom Fighters back in the day, which was not very good.
No, they're a real like hit and miss studio. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But that last Hitman had so many Game of the Year awards.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so much love.
That was the thing. The most recent Hitman was fucking awesome, and they seemed to be doing really well. Like they were saying, the numbers seemed to be positive, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but Squeenix threw them right under the fucking bus.
Yeah.
They wrote there's like a press release where basically they say,
I got a quote from that. We're going to talk about it.
yeah, everything's cool except for IO. They fucked us. We lost a bunch of yen because of IO.
Yeah, they
it's all
claim they
IO's
lost
fault.
some money because of IO Interactive, which is weird. Also,
Yeah.
I love Jeff Gerstmann's tweet, by the way. He's like, we awarded the Hitman 2016 Game of the Year, and now they're gone.
Yep.
Now
Yep.
there will never be
Maybe
anything
someone
again.
pitched in a meeting like Kane and Lynch a sequel and then instant fire.
Oh,
Just
that's
no,
true.
get the fuck out of here. Never talk about that game again.
The thing we don't see behind the scenes though is we don't know how they were spending their money. Right? This is a big thing. Like studios make and lose money not just because a game sells well or reviews well or whatever. It's also about how they manage their in-house assets and stuff like that. Like if it was poorly managed, if they were wasting money in places. Not that I'm suggesting that that's what happened. We just don't know.
It could even be a combination
You know.
of that, or maybe the game wasn't priced the way it should have been.
Yeah.
Because the final version ended up only being like $40.
They did some weird stuff with this game too, right? Like it.
It was a full retail game.
Yeah.
That was episodic, but then then it became an episodic game after a big backlash over it.
Yeah.
Then the episodic releases were pretty far apart, and
Yeah.
they were not super pricey.
I
they were-
lost
but they
interest
were-
in it. That was the problem.
Yeah.
They were consistent. I'll give them that though.
Well, they were consistently far apart.
There had to have been something really strange because basically they announced this game, said it was going to be a full retail product, then went to like a hybrid episodic model to full episodic within the course of like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like that's way too fast. Like
Right.
some had to have been up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
It seems really weird. So let me read the quote from Square Enix.
Yeah.
So they said, to maximize player satisfaction as well as market potential going forward, we're focusing our resources and energies on key franchises and studios. As a result, the company has regrettably decided to withdraw from the business of IO Interactive, a wholly owned subsidiary and a Danish corporation as of March 31st, 2017. It also sounds like they're trying to sell the company as well, because they may have parted ways with them, but they still are trying to get some money for both the Hitman franchise and the studio itself.
Yeah.
So maybe someone will actually swoop in and purchase them, like THQ Nordic or
Microsoft.
Microsoft. Sony even could.
Microsoft.
What if Nintendo does it?
They're going to take a Hitman game?
Yeah.
They're not going to take it. Though Hitman would be amazing on a Switch.
Kane and Lynch cross Mario. That'll be the new game. I'm sorry, Brock.
Now, about Square, what did they say about my Kingdom Hearts 3?
They said it's still never coming. It's not going to come until
they said it might be actually released unfinished.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to add content as they go.
Yeah, probably.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. Just like Final Fantasy VII, the episodic game. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Square Enix, of course, making amazing decisions this time. But honestly, my heart goes out to the people at IO Interactive, because they made a great game. And it's just too bad that Square Enix, again, similar to what we saw with Tomb Raider, where they mismanaged the financials on Tomb Raider, and maybe it was just mismatched expectations here. But I mean, I would love to see IO Interactive get bought by a publisher that wants them, and then is able to sort of allow them to keep making the games that they want to make.
Yeah.
Because again, Hitman's a good game, and I'd love to see something new from them.
Yeah. As long as they don't make another Kane and Lynch game, I think we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and even the episodic approach to Hitman's fine, because again, it seemed to work out this time. It's just a matter of the quality just needs to be there.
Yeah.
So as long as the quality's there, it'll be fine. Unlike Hitman Absolution, which I know some people liked, but I don't really think it was a great game.
I hated it.
Was that the one before?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one that they got really dark with like the content. Like there was like weird pedophilia things going on, and yeah.
Also,
Like, I don't know why they keep doing that. They keep going like really grimy and like a really gross way, like they did with like the Kane and Lynch, and every time it seems to like backfire.
Yeah. It also makes me wonder what's going to happen to other franchises, because obviously this might mean that Square's maybe ready to start parting with some of their other companies, like their IDOS properties. So like, for example, there's a rumor right now that there might be a new Thief game to coincide with the Thief movie that's coming, because I mean, who's going to want to go see the Thief movie? But
Hundreds of people.
Like
Ryan,
the last Thief didn't sell well. So like,
yeah, because it was shit.
yeah, so like, would they might be next, or even like Tomb Raider didn't sell that well either.
Yeah,
partially because they made the mistake of partnering with Microsoft for a year exclusivity deal, but
angering a lot of people.
Yeah, like and that was a franchise already that didn't really meet their own sales expectations. So I wonder if this is maybe the harbinger of things to come for other IDOS properties that they own.
Yeah,
like maybe there will be never be a new Tomb Raider game. Maybe they're
they're already working on one, I thought.
Well, that's true. Well, that's IDOS Montreal though,
That's rumored.
And it's rumored
that is the reading off the screen on the airplane
that,
situation.
and IDOS Montreal is already working on that Adventures game as well as maybe a Tomb Raider game. So it's just
they're getting that Marvel money now.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe they might be putting their other IDOS properties out of business. Maybe this finally means we're never going to see a new Fear Effect game or a new Gex game. Drew is going to be very sad about that.
Oh, well, I love Gex.
Yeah,
Big Gex fan.
I mean, you could have pitched with the Square Enix Collective to make a new Gex game, Drew.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about it for a while.
Do you have a spec script for a new Gex too?
Yep.
Okay.
It's also sexually driven.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus.
It's basically an X-rated film.
Yeah.
But I guess you could have interactive elements too if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Topic 3. Layoffs are happening at BioWare Montreal, and Mass Effect has been put on hold.
Yeah.
So EA has announced that after the woes of Mass Effect Andromeda's launch, BioWare Montreal has now officially been moved back to a support role. If you remember, before Mass Effect Andromeda came out, they were a support studio working on Mass Effect 3, just on the multiplayer specifically.
Yeah.
Then they were switched to a mainline studio, and they were allowed to make Mass Effect Andromeda.
They were allowed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and then now they're switched back to a support studio working on multiplayer again.
And now they've had their allowance taken away.
Yeah. So, according to EA, BioWare Montreal will help support BioWare's other games as well as work on patches for Mass Effect Andromeda's multiplayer specifically. That means it sounds like there's no story DLC coming. I mean, we didn't think so anyways because there was no season pass for it. There was the deluxe edition that came with more multiplayer packs, but none of them were like extra levels or anything like that.
Despite the fact that they said in like interviews that like, oh no, like this dangling participle from the video game is intentionally, we've left this thread hanging because we're going to fill that with future content. Looks like that's not going to happen now.
Yeah, because BioWare has also announced that the Mass Effect series as a whole will be on hiatus from now on.
What's the player base in the multiplayer?
From what I could tell from trying to play it, not very good.
Who the hell is playing Mass Effect for multiplayer? I don't.
There are some people.
I remember we heard sort of like anecdotal things of people talking to us saying like, oh no, like I'm really excited about this multiplayer. I really love the multiplayer. And I just kind of wanted to shove their head in the fridge.
Why?
Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
It always felt tacked on and stupid and cheesy. And I get that, like, the one thing I respect BioWare Montreal for doing is, like, doing their best with basically what is a shitty situation and trying to make a multiplayer shit sandwich out of what is Mass Effect. They did a pretty good job of pulling something out of that, but even still, it always felt like something that was kind of glued and taped together. You know, it didn't feel like a cohesive thing. You know, it was like, oh yeah, like you can tell they recycled these enemies from the single player game
In the same locations too.
Yeah, and chunks of maps, and they kind of tweak some things here. And I get that they do that for a lot of other like multiplayer things, but this was because this game was so single player driven. It seemed so weird.
Yeah.
When they did it.
Yeah.
So
not as weird as Dead Space 2 multiplayer or the Darkness multiplayer.
I didn't understand The Last of Us multiplayer. I thought that was so stupid.
I mean, it kind of made more sense. It was at least trying to tell you a story.
Yeah, but the action in that game was not the greatest.
No, I know.
It's so stiff.
It works much better for Uncharted. Like the Uncharted multiplayer, even like has progressively gotten better, and Uncharted 4's multiplayer is actually pretty good.
yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Turning it into an esport was stupid.
Well,
That didn't go well.
that's just the argument that we make about any esport. It's just a matter of
You don't turn a game into an esport. A game is either an esport or it's not. Like either you make a really tight, well-balanced, like competitive game, and then people really get excited about it, want to play it, or you don't. You know, if you look at games where people have tried to push esports and there hasn't been that effort to make it make the gameplay really refined and make the competitive action really well balanced and really sort of like fair, but also compelling and have some depth. Here's a perfect example of that, and that is Evolve. Right? That was a game that like they're like, no, we're gonna make this an esport. They forgot to make it a good, well balanced, fun playing multiplayer game.
Or I mean, the idea, like everything felt about that game felt like it was designed to be an esport. But and truth be told, I think it actually makes a good esport itself if you have 5 dedicated people that are dedicated to playing it, like 4 on one team, and then the monster, like someone who's dedicated.
The monster was so overbalanced, though.
Yeah,
it would kill you so easily.
Well, they did fix that eventually, but it's still just like. Again,
that's the thing with if you want a game to be an esport, you can't fix it eventually. It has to be ready at the outset, or at least close.
Yeah,
you know, and then it has to evolve over time.
Yeah.
If you try to shoehorn it into things, if you try to shove it down people's throats, they're not going to want to do it.
Yeah, because I mean, Counter-Strike, for example, wasn't designed as an esport. It was designed to be as a mod. To play multiplayer Half-Life with your friends. And
because it was basically one of those very, very early, in anything but name only, like early release kind of games, because it was a game that was released as like beta chunks over time. They were forced into the situation where it had to be very, very fine-tuned and very, very well-balanced over years, right? So... those are the sort of the one. Like Dota is the same sort of thing.
Yeah,
right.
Or even just the original StarCraft. Like that wasn't really designed as.
What about H1Z1?
Yeah,
was that designed with that in mind?
Actually, more was so after DayZ, I guess, came out because it was almost immediately announced like a week or two after DayZ.
I can't believe how big that game's blown up.
Well, people just love those types of games. Like there's a huge audience for the games like that and Rust and. Daisy and a bunch of other games.
The like the competitive survival games.
Yeah.
Of course, the big game that's blowing up the spot right now is the battle royale game, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Everybody's playing that fucking game, but us. I don't like. It looks like fun to me. I don't know. It could be enjoyable.
Is it PC only?
I think it is though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Because none of us are really
I'm
PC
out.
gamers.
No.
Yeah.
We want to be. It's nothing. It's not bias.
It's more just we don't have money. Send
Yeah.
us money or good computers, and we will play PC games.
I will happily play a good PC game. It's hard to juggle owning both consoles. Well, in some of our cases, owning all three consoles, trying to buy some of our own games because we don't get everything sent to us.
No, in fact, it's usually the opposite.
Yes, so it's a little tricky to do.
Yeah, for sure.
On a budget.
Yeah.
So
back to Mass Effect because we
Yes.
got off on a bit of a tangent.
Boy, did we.
So they've announced that Mass Effect is going to go on hold indefinitely. They did say that BioWare did say that Mass Effect will be back one day when they decide what they kind of want to do with it.
Yeah.
But what do we think Mass Effect even should come back, or how should it come back? Or what do we think about that? Just Mass Effect just being on hold.
I think I'm totally fine with that. I think you and I, we talked about this. We all talked about this beforehand. I think there's still, you can do something in that universe post, and specifically in the locale where Mass Effect takes place, in the Milky Way galaxy after the events of the current Mass Effect trilogy.
Yeah.
You start again with new characters. You pick an ending because that's what you have to
Yeah,
do.
they had to do the same thing for Infamous Second Son.
Right? You just have to say, okay, this was the canon ending, the green ending, the red ending, the blue ending.
Yeah.
And then then you set something because the reality is there's sort of like a big event at the end of Mass Effect that kind of sets the clock back on everything in terms of like all the Mass Effect relays basically go
Kablooey.
go sideways. Yeah. So there could be a very interesting sort of like story about like a space race. So like trying to like reach out to the other like
to reconnect with everyone.
habited planets and try to develop new technology to do that or something cool like that. That could be fun. But we need that in like 5 years and not now.
No.
We need them to sit on it and they need to really think about how to do that.
Yeah. They really need to put some distance between the Mass Effect Andromeda and whatever they're going to do next.
And you need to put some really experienced developers on this. You need someone to take the helm who's been making games for a long time.
Yeah. And let's face it, I mean, BioWare isn't the same studio it used to be.
Nope.
Like, pretty much all the leads that worked on Mass Effect no longer work there like the first one.
Yep.
Like, it's just, there's a completely different team, completely new writers. The whole staff is completely different. So I kind of want to see what they can do, just trying to make it their own thing now, rather than trying to tie it to everything else that's happened in Mass Effect. Like, you're right, Drew. I think that there's a lot of stories to tell in the Mass Effect universe. They really shouldn't be tied to either Shepard or even Andromeda. They should be tied to something else. And it might just be that it's going to be a long ways away. Like even 10 years might be enough time, I think, to revisit Mass Effect. Like, we already know that BioWare's new IP is being worked on right now, and it got pushed back to EA's fiscal 2018 year, which basically means it'll be out before this time in 2019.
Yep. Project Dylon.
Yeah, and we already know that it is going to be a Destiny style kind of MMO light game. We don't know what that entails yet, but it sounds like we're going to hear about it probably next year.
We know it's going to spit hot fire.
Yeah, maybe it'll be a Jade Empire MMO. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
But like I'm a little disheartened as a Mass Effect fan, but I mean that's sort of how I felt after playing Andromeda. Like we talked about it at length on this show, more to the point where Brock's just like, I hate Mass Effect. Can we stop talking
I'm
about
so
liking
over Mass Effect.
Yeah.
You'll notice Brock has not said anything for a while.
No, but mainly because like let's talk about that real quick because I think before we got to Andromeda, you were excited for that.
I was
game.
pretty excited. I liked the demo.
And now you're just like,
I
you
never
don't know how to
want to
feel
play.
about
I
this
could
game.
care less. And then I don't want to play put 50, 60 hours into a game that I know now has no sequel and ends on a cliffhanger.
yeah,
I do not care to play that. I had no interest now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I need a conclusion.
Yeah.
And Mass Effect has burned me time and time again.
Yeah, but whether it was that or even the Mass Effect 3 ending,
Exactly.
it burned a lot of people too.
Yeah.
So, like they just can't get away from controversy with this series. So I'm interested to see what happens next. Again, I still love BioWare and I want to see them do good things, but they're not the studio that I fell in love with back then. Like even Dragon Age Inquisition, as much as I liked it, it's not the old BioWare that I remember, and the old BioWare that I loved that made Knights of the Old Republic and Jade Empire and Mass Effect and Baldur's Gate. They're very different now. So I still want to see what they're doing next. I'm still excited for this new IP because I like MMOs. So as long as it's like MMOs, I'll be fine. Or Destiny, because I'm actually excited about Destiny as well. So moving on, we got our news wrap up. But before we do that, Brock, I'm going to give you the floor because you went to the Zelda Defenders of the Triforce, I think it's called, which is the Zelda escape room. So can you give your impressions on that? How did that go?
Yeah, so it's it's coming from America. It's a tour. It's like an escape. Well, they advertise it as an escape room, kind of. It's not at all. It's if you like ever went to youth group or like. And if you like at a church, where my mom would stick me after class or like school, we spent a lot of time in doing like activities and stuff. It's pretty much on that level, except you have to pay $70 or $60 for a ticket.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
It's really expensive. And it's starting in Toronto, and then it makes its way across Canada. I think it has 8 different cities it's going to.
Okay.
7, 8 cities. And it's really not good at all. It's really cheesy.
In what way? Was it just the props? Was it just the puzzles, or was it just
Let's start with the very, when you get there, you're sitting in a table with 6 people. Hopefully you know them. I was only with one person I knew and a random family who had never played Zelda or knew anything about Zelda.
Well, that's fun.
They were just there for escape rooms, and they were very disappointed when they saw what this was.
Ouch.
So you're pretty much sitting at a table with a ton of other people all around you, so you can pretty much hear what they're doing and like hear their clues.
So you're not in a room at all.
You're in a very large auditorium with really ugly drapes wrapped around, blocking out the rest of the.
So it's totally not an escape room. Gotcha.
No, and then there's like 3 different rooms set up for like the Goron City, the whatchamacallit, the fire,
Zora place, or?
The Zora place, the Gorons, and the. What are the elves?
Oh, the Kakariko Village.
Kakariko Village.
Yeah.
So you spend most of your time running from your table to these little rooms that are just terrible with like kids that do not care to be there.
Yeah.
And then run back, and then eventually you're supposed to get the Master Sword and age 7 years in the future. But no one got that. Like there was only a few tables that figured that out because the questions were so like ridiculous. And it wasn't like you need to know Zelda. It's just like obscure, like weird puzzle cutting, like that doesn't. It's just bad instructions,
right?
And like I posted a photo of the Master Sword. It looks so cheesy. It looks like a dollar store thing that's like stuck in this like ugly piece of wood.
Kotaku actually posted some stuff.
Like it's like in like some plywood box that was painted
it's all scratched, and like they didn't even take time to like fix it. Like this would have taken 2 seconds, and then there was like an issue where. You're all supposed to get hats, like link hats, and these are like shitty pieces of fabric. Like these are like 7 cents, and they ran out. And I guess people have been taking them, and they didn't restock them. The red hat was the same, but the audio plays, and it says everyone in your group is supposed to put on your hat, and you have like one like measly little like hat that you hope they wash so you don't get lice.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, it was bad. And then I guess they had real ocarinas at one point, but people stole those. So then they only had like cardboard cutouts of ocarinas.
Yeah.
The whole thing was like really amateur hour. And for the price, it's very hard to justify.
Right.
Yeah, I know some people were saying, like, I had fun. I also drank a bunch of tequila beforehand. Yeah. So it was a lot more fun.
Wait, was that part of the event?
No. That was down the street. But if you're not with friends and, like, if you were just kind of, like, maybe it's just you and another person, you got stuck in a shitty group, it wouldn't be very fun. And it's very, like, 2 people could totally dominate and you don't get any of the action.
Yeah. You just have to sit there and watch them do stuff.
Yeah, and the host was really bad. He seemed really bored or really stoned. He did not care to be there.
Well, it is a traveling show, Brock.
Yeah.
I don't know if the actors travel with it, though. Because I saw a few other reviews and they said the host was amazing. I don't think the American actors came up here.
So they're like.
So I think this was their first showing of it in Canada, and this is what we get. And it was like really mundane.
To be fair, like the San Francisco one, where a lot of press went to go preview it out west, that got totally shit on too. And they mentioned similar problems, stuff like there weren't enough hats. And
No, the hats were in the San Francisco one because that's where it started. The hats didn't make it to New York.
it was in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time I got to New York, I think it was the red hats were missing, and by the time I got to Toronto, there were like no fucking hats at all.
No, and like shit was broken. Like I was trying to get a treasure chest to open, but like the locks were like falling off, so I'd like smash it over the table and then get yelled at by a guy wearing a Navi on his shirt.
Oh my God.
And like,
Hey, listen.
hey, it was just bad. I don't know. It was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't highly recommend. I wouldn't really recommend.
So
it.
what you're saying is it might be fun if you have 6 friends and you're drunk.
Sure, yeah, and if you brought a family,
that's
like
it.
you're looking at like $250 to get there. Just go buy a Switch. Like
That's true.
Go buy something you can like take home and like use.
Yeah.
So no, this wasn't a Nintendo thing. This was licensed.
Yes.
Right. Like
It was. It sounded like it was partner. It was Scrap Entertainment or Scrap Productions.
Yeah.
Who are like the leaders of escape rooms apparently? Who've done these
Yeah.
years and years and done like lots of like licensed ones and Nintendo. But yeah, it was just
like they're partnering together on this.
And like the video, like they showed beforehand, felt like it was sped up for time. So like the whole dialogue was like quickly moving by. It was like if you were playing a game and you're skipping the dialogue.
Yeah.
And the graphics were super shitty and like they used terrible like PNG files of like
God.
Ganondorf and stuff. And then Ganondorf changed to like he started out as like the N64 version and like switched over to like the Wind Waker version, and then I don't know. Then there was an ugly version. It was bad.
At least they weren't as bad as like the CDI Zelda cinematics. Those are the worst.
Yes, it was pretty much that was like what this game was like. It was like playing the Zelda CDI.
Oh God. The CDI version. Of Zelda.
At some point, did somebody say, "Well, excuse me, princess"?
Actually, that's the 1980s Zelda. He doesn't actually say that in the CDI version.
Oh, that's
Wasn't
true.
that the TV show?
That's
said
it.
that?
Yeah, the 80s TV show.
Yeah. Wand of Gamelon is a
game-
different beast entirely.
It's also the only game where you get to play as Zelda in, besides Hyrule Warriors,
Yes.
which is just sad.
Yeah.
I will like
Take a
redeem
minute.
it. There was some really good puzzles. There was actually some good like clues and stuff that
Yeah.
were fun.
If
to
anything,
solve.
you were making it sound like they were pretty difficult.
Some of them were.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the end one was just bullshit.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Gotta have a puzzle that's just straight bullshit.
Yeah. I'd give it 2 rupees out of 5.
Okay. Fair enough. 2 rupees out of 5.
Wow. It's not very many rupees.
You heard it here first. I mean, you can't even fit that in adult
And they're
wallet.
green rupees.
Oh God.
Not even red.
That's true. They could be just any type of
even
rupees
red.
if you just said rupees. Yeah. Well, listeners at home, let's wrap up some news this week. And of course, there's a couple of these stories that a certain someone to the left of me is going to talk about because he's very adamant about them. So, Platinum Games has announced that Vanquish is coming to PC on May 25th.
Fucking sweet.
So that's like next week, I think. So that's pretty exciting because Vanquish is fucking fantastic.
Did you ever want to play a game where you slide down on your knees and then boot around on your fucking knees with a rocket coming out of your butt? This is the game for you.
Or just shoot at 1,000,000 miles a second while just blazing through a level.
The rocket slide is just made my fucking day.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And also, if you own the Bayonetta PC port, you get a discount on this as well because Vanquish never came to PC.
Oh, that's great.
It's running on a new engine too, apparently, that is just made specifically for the PC version. It's not even a straight port. It's
Crazy.
They redid all the assets and stuff, which
Wow.
is kind of crazy.
That is
They
nuts.
did the same thing for Bayonetta too, and I hear lots of great things about that port.
Yeah.
So pick that up for sure if you missed it. Next up, 343 Industries has confirmed that Halo 6 will not be present or formally announced at E3, but they will be at the event, so it's conceivable they will talk about something. They've sort of hinted at that they will be talking about something, but it will not be Halo 6,
Halo Wars 3.
throwing a certain someone's prediction at this table out the window.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you not have a Halo 6 for your Scorpio system?
Yeah.
Or just announce that it's coming, like remind people that it's coming.
Show them a
even if it's coming next year,
12-second trailer.
of Master Chief in a poncho.
Yeah, put Master Chief in a parka, in the Arctic, and there are all kinds of coats that you can make Master Chief wear.
Yeah.
A rain slicker on a fishing trawler. I can think of at least 3 more.
I don't even know if I want a Halo 6 though, because after their comments, I don't think they know what we want, like the fans want.
Yeah, especially after
They
what we
seem
talked about
very
last week.
confused.
Yeah.
Master Chief in a trench coat walking down a moonlit street. Master Chief investigations.
Yep.
Halo 6.
Boom. It's happening.
I could roll these out all day. The great thing is, if you're following the pattern of Halo 5, you don't even have to fucking use that for the game. You just throw that away after you're done.
Yeah.
Just give us fucking something, people.
That's true. Also, side note, they could be pulling a Jaffe here where they say they're not going to be there and then they will actually be there. Kind of like the famous example of David Jaffe saying before like E3 2012 that he would not be at E3 and then showed up on stage in an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
So
now, where did these Halo 6 where did this come from?
The 343 were released the same.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's official.
So
it is official.
to temper expectations.
Yeah.
But they did say they would be at E3. So they might be talking about something else. Maybe they're just there to talk about Halo Wars 2 DLC because we know that that's still coming.
Wow, exciting.
Yeah.
More room for Splinter Cell, okay?
Yeah, maybe.
More room for Splinter Cell.
Yeah, you'll be seeing it on Switch.
My question is, if Halo 6 isn't going to be there, what fucking games are going to be there?
Yeah.
What is Microsoft going to talk about?
Yeah, there's also rumors this week that they're partnering with some 888 third-party studio for something.
I really hope they don't pull this bullshit that like, here, all our old games are gonna look so good on the Scorpio. Here's a video that you at home cannot fucking figure out because it doesn't look that good on your shitty monitor.
Yeah, just like the PlayStation Pro event.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't make any difference.
Yeah,
because you're watching it on a shitty
You'll
screen.
get to see it though, because Brock, ladies and gentlemen, is actually going to E3.
Yeah.
So you'll get to see it firsthand.
That's right.
But we won't. We'll
won't.
be watching it at home, watching the stream. You're like, what the fuck was that?
I'll Snapchat it for you.
Well, we can go. We can try to watch it in front of 4K TV.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can make that happen.
Well, no, we got to stream right after, and we got to stream with Brock after. So
That's true. Yeah.
All right. Enough with Microsoft. Next up, Nintendo has confirmed its E3 plans. Speaking of E3, of course, they will once again be doing a digital event on June 13th, which is the Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is their usual time slot. There's not going to be a big presser or anything like that. Following immediately after the digital event, there will be a Treehouse Live streaming all day with whatever they're announcing. They said for the digital event, they will be focusing on Super Mario Odyssey and other games releasing in 2017.
Yeah.
So it sounds like whatever Switch games are coming out this year, that's what it's going to focus on. And we'll finally learn what else is coming out this fall for Switch. There will also be a Splatoon 2 and ARMS tournaments running all week. That they'll be streaming on Nintendo's YouTube page as well.
Yay, an ARMS tournament.
Well, ARMS comes out that Friday of that week, and then Splatoon comes out a month later.
That Treehouse last year was so incredibly boring to watch.
Yeah.
It was so dry.
But they didn't have much to work with. They were just working with. It was only Zelda last year, if you remember.
Yeah.
And didn't they do Pokemon too?
Yeah. Oh, they did Pokemon too, but those were the only two games they showed.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of.
And it was almost all Zelda playable, right? Like in terms of like what they're showing on the show.
I think they'll probably show more this year. Because that was a big mistake last year, was not showing enough stuff there.
Hopefully.
So I'm just.
They didn't even show Zelda to me when they showed it last year. Wasn't very exciting. I was like, that's kind of boring.
Well, yeah, we were. Yeah, none of us were excited about Zelda until we played it.
No.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy because that game's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, next up, this is a PSA for all you listeners or viewers at home. If you
send nudes.
Yes, if you still want to purchase Alan Wake at all. Do so before May 15th because the game will be being pulled from digital stores due to a music license in the game expiring.
Is it the Lime and the Coconut song?
I actually don't know which song it is.
I don't think they've said.
No,
they didn't say, but they did say that if you don't buy it before May 15th, they're pulling it off shelves everywhere.
I don't know how it's aged, but when I first played that game, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved every minute of that
Same
game.
here.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Alan Wake's a cool game. I think it's actually still pretty fun, but it plays a lot like Quantum Break, and I know you didn't like Quantum.
No, I did not like Quantum Break
So
at all. Quantum Break
it
was
might
so
be tougher
cheesy.
for you to go back.
Yeah,
to.
I know I have it because when I got Quantum Break, Alan Wake downloaded.
Yeah,
on
anyone who bought Quantum Break got Alan Wake as a digital code, and I still have my physical.
and it's
copy at
super
home.
cheap on Steam this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's like $3.
Yeah.
So yeah, pick it up before the 15th. Also, I don't think the price on Xbox Live is going to go down at all because it is backwards compatible on Xbox One. I think it's still $20, but either you spend it now or you never get to buy that game.
This whole licensing music stuff is such bullshit too.
Yeah, it's really
really
weird.
going to suck in going on in the future because so many games depend on a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even I think Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain, for example, is going to run into the same issue in a few years.
That's rumored to be next.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that it might be tough. This is just one of those things about game preservation that we're just not good at in the digital age right now.
Grand Theft Auto seemed to get their stuff really tight.
Yeah, Rockstar did a good job of nailing all that stuff down.
Yeah.
But that's going to really suck if games start getting pulled because they don't have the music licensing.
Yeah. Or like even licensed games like the Turtles in Time remake or Scott Pilgrim, we'll never see those games again.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never be able to buy them again. You'll never be able to really play them again at all.
Which is really sad.
Yeah.
Now, couldn't they just change the music?
I mean, theoretically they could, but is Microsoft going to pay them to go do that again? Not only that, but they're actually working on a third-party game for PlayStation. Their next game is on PlayStation, so I don't think that their relationship with Microsoft is there anymore.
Because the licensed music doesn't even stand out to me in Alan Wake.
No, it really doesn't.
I don't remember the licensed music like at all.
In theory, they could just put a patch in to remove it.
Yeah.
But then, well, maybe that would go against the license though, because again, if offline people are playing it offline, they'll still have access to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think that they would be allowed to do that under the
Just make
license.
more original music.
Yeah, good point. All right, last two stories, and Drew and Brock are very excited. So, EA has announced the GOAT, that's GOAT edition of Madden 18, and will feature Tom Brady as the cover athlete. Brock, you have the floor. Go.
Fuck Tom Brady.
All right, that's everything you need to know about
I
Madden
thought
18.
Kotaku's article for that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Just him getting sacked.
It was so amazing.
It's great.
Yeah.
But he's the greatest of all time. That's what this is saying.
Nah, but he's such a little dink.
I know.
Nobody likes Tom Brady except if you're a New England Patriot fan.
Yeah, if you're a
Like-
diehard New England Patriots fan,
Yeah.
you love Tom Brady.
So everyone in New England is going to buy this game.
The real
Yeah.
question is this game going to get hit by the curse?
It's true.
Hopefully.
Tom
Yeah.
Brady might get
Hopefully.
affected by the Madden curse.
I'm surprised he would even do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you know,
Why would they put goat on the front
It's
of
not
this
like he
fucking
needs
thing?
the Madden money.
because it's a hot meme, Drew.
I like,
The kids love the memes.
I'm an old man. I had to look up what the fuck goat meant.
And it's not
what the
even just
fuck?
the goat from Fallout 3.
And it's going to be the most
No.
innovative Madden in years.
I mean, it's going to be
Yeah.
the greatest of all
Years.
time.
Yeah.
The greatest of all time edition.
Yeah.
This is like the most like masturbatory thing
I
I've
just
seen
can't.
in video games in a long time.
I haven't played a Madden game in ever because they're just all they're so repetitive.
I have last year's.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I miss the NCAA
I like
double
it.
games. I love those ones.
Yeah, the
there was so
NCAA
much more
games.
to do.
Yeah.
yeah.
I want Madden to go like the way of the show route, like
The
where you
pro-
could start as a junior and make your way up.
Yeah. The problem with NCAA was they were becoming too similar to Madden.
Yeah.
And that's why they stopped them. Because
And the licensing problem with the
there's
kids
that
and
too.
everything.
Yeah.
If it were possible for a video game to sort of bend itself around after many months of practicing and stretching and lick its own asshole, this is what it would look like.
Right.
With
Yeah.
with what's his name is the face.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is actually the fate of the show eventually, because I mean it's working in the same realm. It's the only baseball game around.
And the
I mean,
show-
they haven't done it yet, but what's
Yeah.
going to happen eventually with the show? Is it going to be like just get like to the point of Madden where it's just the same game every year?
And the show had to did a big apology this week too. I got that email from PlayStation. I guess for everyone who played it, the
Yeah.
online servers have been just terrible for it.
Yeah.
So they formally apologized and gave a bunch of free shit
Yeah.
in game. I don't notice. I haven't gone online. I'd get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
But that is a goddamn good game.
Right.
It is amazing.
Yeah, they do a pretty solid game every year. I
Mm-hmm.
just haven't played a new show. Like the last one I bought was 14 was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. 'Cause
Most
I-
people haven't found much of a change from 16 to 17.
Yeah,
Guys, I miss John Elway.
yeah. Those games also only have 9-month development cycles, to
Mm-hmm.
be fair. So it's just like it's hard to do sweeping changes in those games. All right, last story.
What about Tebow? Can we put Tebow?
Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
No.
On the cover?
No one likes him.
And he can be on the show 18.
Oh God. Just
That's just deeply confusing.
yeah. All right, last story. Of course, the game show adaptation of Candy Crush Saga has a
Yes.
new trailer. Why are you saying yes to that?
This
I'm
is
so
for,
excited. Mario Lopez is known as a big gamer and he loves Candy Crush. Don't we all love Candy Crush, guys?
as a dedicated, hardcore, through and through
Yeah.
gamer for the past almost 3 decades, I am proud to say that Candy Crush is at the top of my list.
So,
It is the only hardcore game I play.
Yeah.
I'm actually joining a Candy Crush competitive esports team.
just like Brock with his esports league.
Yep, yeah. Brock's actually my manager. Mario Lopez is on the team. Yeah, we're called the Ass Blasters.
Of course you are.
Yeah, we're really we're shooting up. We're shooting up into the atmosphere of the Candy Crush competitive scene. This is
Watch out Facebook invites. We're going to be sending them your way.
Yeah, this is really fucking dumb.
It's really dumb.
Yeah, there was a new trailer. It's coming out July 9th. It's premiering, and it looks awful.
Guess what? So we don't need a fucking TV show for Candy Crush.
Guess what? People play Candy Crush on a giant touch screen with their feet.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Yeah.
While also doing some wacky stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so let's break this down. Number one, this is a summer replacement program. To be fair, so you think you can be a millionaire? But like,
who wants to be a millionaire? You just can't now.
So yeah, so this is summer replacement programming, which means that like they don't have a ton of confidence in this as a program.
Nor should they.
This is going straight to series in October, not summer.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this is a fall show that they're putting a lot of money behind.
I guess the pilot is on the 9th then, because they announced on that site that I sent you with the trailer that that's the premiere date.
No, that's going straight to series in October.
Oh, so maybe that's just the
God.
one-off or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the
All right,
one-off
never
premiere.
mind.
The live action show.
It's happening. Maybe it's got that two broke girls time slot after they canceled that show.
That's true. Yeah. The poor two.
I didn't know
girls.
that show still existed, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't know it was still in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Mario Lopez because he's fucking terrible, and now he's got to host like
A really terrible show.
This sounds like the worst hosting gig ever. Of course, I got someone like just as brainless as Mario Lopez to do this.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was on The Bold and the Beautiful and NCIS New Orleans, so he needed a new job.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you always need to do.
As a player, I'm excited to step into the real life Candy Crush arena, says Lopez. Everyone who's played Candy Crush has probably said those words.
I would be more interested if this game was about people actually stomping on candy with their feet and like kind of hurting themselves.
That'd be
like,
just sad. I wouldn't want to
Lego.
see that waste of candy.
It's like them stomping on it. Oh, this is the worst. Oh, my feet hurt.
That would be pretty similar to like the type of activities that you found in Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, the TV show, where you had to solve geometry puzzles in order to track down Carmen Sandiego.
See, you learn something.
Yeah.
You don't fucking learn anything from a Candy Crush game.
You even learn more by watching Video and Arcade Top 10.
Yeah.
Learn how to play Adventure Island by playing that.
I learned how to spell Nicholas Pickles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss Nicholas Pickles.
Come back, Nick.
He had a nicer face than Mario Lopez's.
Video games need you.
Yep. All right. Speaking of video games,
I wonder if
meeting
Mario
people,
Lopez is going to be at E3.
He might be.
I have so many. Maybe they'll show this at E3.
Maybe you'll have to go say hello, high five him.
Yeah,
I will.
High five him
We'll
for
talk
us.
about our love of gaming, and then he can tell me about his Candy Crush obsession.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of games, we didn't play a ton. Like the consensus around this table is we didn't play a ton of games this week. It's been a busy week for us. But
We did.
what have we been playing, if anything?
We did play Injustice 2.
Well, okay. But we already talked about that.
Yes,
so
we
what
did.
else did we play this week?
I've been watching a lot of stuff. If you're not watching American Gods, you're missing out on like one of the best shows on TV right now.
It has its problems, but it's a really good show.
It is so damn good.
The music is mixed too high.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, and I hate how they do, like, there's some, like, visual stuff that I really, really don't like how they do, but it's a good show.
It'd be, have you read the book?
Yes.
I feel like it probably is very confusing for people who have not read the book.
Yeah, because they haven't out and out said what's going on
They're
yet.
definitely switching up the order and like making less of a mystery of things.
Yeah.
But I can see it being very confusing. But thankfully it got picked up for a second season already.
Yeah.
So that's going to hopefully bring more people in the show.
The whole stuff, like, with Mr. Nancy was really, like, it was great.
It was very well performed.
Like, Orlando Jones explaining slavery to
slaves.
African slaves
Yeah.
on the ship on their way to America, and basically saying, this is what your fate is going to be. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better for like 600 years.
And he also time traveled as a spider.
Yeah.
But they don't really talk about that.
They
It's
probably
just-
shouldn't.
No, yeah, it's very confusing. It's very hard to explain the book to people.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the book about? Some gods fighting other gods, but the other gods are like, they're like the internet and stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's about like the concept of like belief and faith.
Yeah.
That people have like faith and belief in things, and that empowers these like mysterious creatures.
Gillian Anderson killed it.
As media. Yeah, she's great.
Want to see Lucy's tits? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously the finale of Riverdale.
I haven't watched it yet.
Pulled at my heartstrings.
I haven't watched it. I'm watching it tonight. Watching it after this.
Big night.
Yeah,
we
it's happening.
were going to squeeze it in this morning, but of course Master of None premiered as well, which is really fucking great.
I watched one of the episodes of that too.
It's a good
It's great.
show. This season is really good.
Yeah.
I started playing Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah,
for
you
some
were telling me
reason.
that. Yeah,
it was
Garden Warfare 2, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's pretty good.
I do like Plants vs Zombies. When I first played the straight up Plants vs Zombies 2,
Like the mobile version.
the mobile version, that was when they had like all of like the freemium stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like before they had fixed it, and I was like, never again.
Yeah, there was way
So,
too many buys in that.
yeah.
I thought that's what the console version was. I was not expecting like a shooter game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fun.
Full on shooter.
It's all about
Third person shooter.
It's all about grapefruit.
I'm trying to. I've been playing Mafia 3 and like hate playing it. The soundtrack is one of the best I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like it puts like Grand Theft Auto to shame. The soundtrack is incredible.
Yeah.
It also has one of my favorite songs of all time, "The House of the Rising Sun."
House of the Rising Sun. You can't set a game in like
New Orleans in
yes,
'69.
yeah.
The story is really good.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like I've never seen a video game told like this. It's really fun.
And the acting seems great as
Yeah,
well. Like,
but the game is fucking boring. It's just really, really lame.
Yeah.
It does some cool things, but the controls are just the worst.
Yeah.
For anyone and everyone who's played Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
they tried to change it, so you're trying to use the Grand Theft Auto controls and it's not working, and
Oh,
you can't
gosh.
remap them. It's a real pain in the ass.
that sounds awful.
I feel like there was something else.
Oh, there is something else,
remember what
Brock.
else I've been playing.
You and I need to talk about.
shit!
Yes, the biggest game this week
I got really excited. Forza Horizon Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
in stereo.
Yeah.
This is some of the best DLC I've ever played.
Holy crap! It's awesome.
It is so much fun. It's the $20 is more than worth it.
Yeah, because I mean, you got basically what they did is they built an entire island in Forza Horizon 3 that is made up of track pieces from Hot Wheels. And there's also like robotic dinosaurs and stuff all over the place. It is so cool.
Yeah, it was great. We played on
we
Tuesday
played on
night, the
stream.
launch night.
Yeah.
I think I put like 6 hours in and did number. I only have a few tracks left to find and a ton of achievements. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
It is a really, really good time.
I can also concur. It is a lot of fun. I haven't had as much of a chance to play it, but I mean, us playing on Tuesday night was a lot of fun.
I love
And then-
Forza Horizon 3. I hate racing games. I hate racing games,
Yeah.
but this is like arcade Burnout Paradise
Yeah.
meets with like Wipeout. It's so cool.
Yeah. Especially because like when you do the loop-de-loops and stuff like that, like it
Yeah.
feels like an anti-grav racer.
Yeah.
Like,
I never
way
got
more
to the
than
top of the
anything else.
mountain yet though. I'm still looking for that track.
Really?
There's
one up there?
There's some glaring problems though, like when you fall off the track, it doesn't reset
Yeah.
you.
Or it will.
It does, but it takes a really long time.
When you're in a race, it will always reset you. But
No, not always.
Oh, not always?
Sometimes I'll find myself, I'll fall off, and then I have to drive around for like 5 minutes.
Oh
it's
my God.
really annoying.
That's
because
awful.
you can't get back on.
Yeah.
It is, and there's no fast travel, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So getting around is a real pain. in
There's
the
also
ass.
no rewind either.
No.
So when you play
There is if you're not playing online.
Oh.
Yeah.
I tried playing it offline and it wouldn't let me use it, so that's weird.
Really? I'm pretty sure I used it.
I played it. Yeah. I'd have to check again.
Yeah.
'cause
I
it
think
seems
it's
weird.
there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
As long as you're not in a group and you're not online, but you have to go offline.
Right.
You have to go into a different mode,
Oh.
and you can just drive around
Well, that's
and do shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But yes, definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Well worth the $20
for sure. And
now,
or even just now here's the thing. You can't buy it outside the expansion
No.
pass. But the Blizzard mounted expansion was also awesome. So I actually think even though it is $40 for both, I think it's worth the $40.
you have to own the base game though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And even if you buy any of the tiered editions, like the deluxe edition or the ultimate edition, neither one of them comes with the expansion pass. Mm-hmm. So you actually have to buy the expansion pass.
And this
separately.
team is now working on a new IP.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They're also that doesn't necessarily mean that Horizon 4 isn't coming
No.
in 2 years.
But this is like an unannounced
Yeah,
brand
they're
new
working
IP,
on something else.
which I can't wait.
And it's not racing, it's something else.
Sweet.
Something
This is one of the most
different.
gorgeous games and like fine-tuned game. It
Yeah.
plays really, really well.
And they were really smart to pick Australia because
Mm-hmm.
Australia is just absolutely gorgeous in this game.
Classical music
totally
station
gorgeous.
and just ripping around at the Australian
Oh,
coast.
you don't like that dance stuff? You
Oh,
were
I
dancing
hate
to
that
it.
dance stuff. I like that classical music.
Yeah.
No, it's an amazing game.
Nice.
It like re-sparked how much I loved that game last year, and I'm like shocked it didn't put it higher on my list.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple things that I played really quick. Number one, I've been playing ESO a lot actually, which is Elder Scrolls Online for all you non-Elder Scrollian folks. Getting prepared for the Morrowind expansion, which is coming in 2 weeks, which looks pretty sweet. I'm actually having a lot of fun with that game again. I think it's pretty sweet, especially if you don't like MMOs.
Yeah, you're playing as your Angorian dancer.
No, I'm boring. I'm a Nord Tempest, which is basically like a paladin kind of.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Magic Duels Amonkhet, which came out this week because with the new Amonkhet set, the campaign for Magic Duels for Amonkhet is kind of a letdown. which kind of made me sad. The cards are awesome.
Yeah.
But the campaign itself, not that great. Also, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I have to give it a shout out to that because that game is still fucking awesome, despite the fact that it is a port of a couple-year-old game now. But even getting to play in tournaments with lots of friends of the show, including Sean Capri, among many others, has been a blast. So I've been loving that. Also, I got to kick Greg Miller's ass in Mario Kart, which was sweet. And last but not least, Prey. I'm still like plugging along with Prey. I'm doing a lot more exploring than I thought I would in that game, which is why I'm not getting too far in it. But I'm a couple hours in, like I'm past the point where we talked about before, and I'm really digging it. I think it's actually a pretty cool game.
Why don't you just beat in 20 minutes like everyone else?
Because that game takes 40 hours to beat, and it takes forever.
Did you watch the speed run? The 20 minute speed
run?
I
haven't watched the 20-minute speed run because I didn't want to spoil the game for me. But yeah, you have to like clip between walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Just like a lot of other speed runs. A lot of traditional speed runs are like that. In fact, there's one where you can beat Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion in less than 5 minutes by doing the same thing. Where you can add, there's like a way to go through the walls in the very first dungeon that takes you to the final boss.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, so let's finish things up this week with talking about the new releases this week, including Akiba's Beat, which is an anime game, The Surge, which is a new first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like Doom.
Yeah, it looks...
Original Doom.
Yeah, it looks very arcadey.
That's a pass for me
on
that one, dog.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll play it. It seems interesting, but it's not a day one buy. Injustice 2, of course, comes out on Tuesday.
Yes.
Again, we'll be talking lots more about that next week, so make sure to get your questions in, please.
I'll be looking for the best asses in that game.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to base my review.
Excellent.
Who's got the best bum?
Have you seen Black Canary?
No.
She's definitely up there.
Sweet.
Yeah. Next up. Oh,
keep going.
Oh, Farpoint coming out this week. A new VR game finally for us PlayStation VR.
Yeah, play some in VR.
Yeah. In fact, actually, we had a couple of people at the event talking to us about Farpoint.
One of the guy he works at PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
That's clearly why he has a PSVR.
But he's someone finally met someone else in real life besides me who owns a PlayStation VR.
Wow, I can't believe you own one. Guy works for PlayStation. Of course he owns one.
Not everyone on PlayStation owns one.
No.
Next up, the game that Drew predicted would come out this year, Cooking Mama Sweet Shop, is out this week on 3DS.
Too bad it's not a VR game.
It's not a VR game.
This would be amazing as a VR title. I feel like this is a missed opportunity.
There's still time for it to become a VR game, Drew. There's still time
on
for
the HoloLens.
Yeah. And last game coming out this week that none of us are excited about, when in fact a lot of us should be excited about. Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia comes out on 3DS this week. None of us are excited because this is a 3DS game and we're kind of burned out on Fire Emblem, which makes me sad because I love Fire Emblem. Also, we're getting another Fire Emblem game this year after this one. Fire Emblem Heroes is coming out this year. Then the Fire Emblem Switch game comes out next year.
Oh, God.
Then the Fire Emblem mobile game's out. That's a lot of Fire Emblem. Just stop.
It's too much.
Just stop right there. We've got enough Fire Emblem games. All right. I also want to give a reminder as well that May 18th, I believe that is Tuesday or Wednesday, the Destiny 2 gameplay reveal is going up. So there's going to be a big live stream for that. Sorry, it's on Thursday.
Yeah.
So make sure to check that out if you want to learn about it. But we'll be definitely talking about that next week.
Yeah.
As Drew and I both eagerly anticipating to see what the hell this game's going to be.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm getting pretty excited for Destiny 2, I must say.
Are you actually getting excited?
I watched some video.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I'm excited.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reserving my full judgment, but yeah, I'm excited.
I really liked the combat in the first one.
Me too.
It felt like Halo 3. It brought me back, but it was a boring ass game to me.
Yeah.
I really liked the lore. I just wanted there to be a fucking story to it.
Yeah.
And by the time they got to the Taken King, they seemed to be very much on the right track. So,
and this was the same problem that apparently was reported with Mass Effect Andromeda, which we didn't touch on when we were touching about that story, but it's just the development tools were tough to work with.
Yeah.
So that sort of limited what they could do with Destiny, and they sort of did the best they could, it sounds like, with Taken King.
Yeah.
And they really couldn't go any farther with that. But that's why I'm really hopeful for this game. I really think that if they've nailed that down, this is going to be really solid.
Yeah.
It's going to be very different.
Though I don't buy that shit with Andromeda. I don't buy that excuse because fucking Dragon Age used Frostbite and it looks way better.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Inquisition looks really, really good.
It also sounded like there was a lot of infighting over like the game's sort of design and things like that too.
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of other factors, it sounds like. All right.
That sucks.
So before we go this week, of course, you can hit us up on Twitter at game_moose_cast, on Facebook at facebook.com/gamemoosepodcast, on gamemoose.com. So game-moose.com is our website with the podcast. Going up, we can talk about our super secret project maybe next week.
We can talk about it now.
We can talk about it now?
Okay, we'll be ready soon.
Oh my God, we can talk
I think like now that I think we're pretty close. So
yeah, it probably won't be up when you see or hear this episode, but
yeah,
maybe next week.
Maybe next week.
So tell us all about this project you've been plugging along, Drew, because you've been really the steward of this, and I want you to sort of speak to this.
Yeah, so we are doing a full website redesign. But more to that, we are launching a full website. We're not just redesigning the Game Moose like podcast website. We are doing a full Game Moose website with like video game reviews and tech reviews. We're doing like editorials and like lots more video content and yeah. So that's and we're gonna be talking a little bit. We're gonna be going out and shooting more videos and doing
like the Injustice Reacts was like the first of that.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, I'm. We might do some touch on some like the very specific like crossovers between video games and movies and TV shows and stuff like that as well. So yeah, we are. Yeah, things are happening. Yep. It's starting to look very good. Things are coming together. I'm very excited. The website will be ready very soon.
Excellent.
For those of you who are worried about like, well, what's happening with the podcast? Podcast isn't going anywhere.
No, we're not really changing anything.
No, the podcast is going to stay the same. We're just going to give you more stuff.
Yeah.
This is more content. The podcast, you will get the podcast from game-moose.com, but if you subscribe on iTunes or if you subscribe to the RSS,
or if you listen on like other websites, it'll still be there.
Yeah, it'll still be around.
Yep.
If it'll still come from. You can still grab it on Spreaker and a few other places. So yeah, don't worry, things are happening.
Yep.
Stay calm.
It's just more stuff.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be fun.
Exactly,
cool stuff.
Be excited. I will be telling you about a new game every week because I'm gonna have a big segment about that.
Indeed,
we're gonna try and do some let's plays and some streams and stuff with our boy Brock here and Drew as well.
Yeah, on that beam grind.
Oh, geez, not the beam. We gotta earn all those points.
Gotta pull down my shirt a bit and be a titty streamer.
Oh, God, please don't do that.
Yeah. That's how you get them views is boobs.
Oh, jeez.
Balls and boobs.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about the website, and we can't wait to show you guys how that's going to work. Hopefully by next show we'll be able to tell you all about that stuff. But it's just glad that we can finally talk about this.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like we said, like we talked about, like you saw some things trickle out. You saw some like new logo designs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all going along with the full website, which we'll be launching very soon.
Sweet.
Which will be a great place if you want to find out what's going on with video games in Canada or just video games in general. It's a great place to go. But also we'll be focusing on things like particular to the Canadian games market. Like when people talk about, there's going to be this exclusive or whatever, we're going to be calling up our friends at Best Buy and EB Games and GameStop and saying like, how many of these things do you actually have? And, why are game prices changing and stuff like that? Stuff that's actually relevant to the Canadian market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also, I think it'll make the podcast a better show, too, in the sense that a lot of feedback we've actually had from people who actually listen to the show, like you who are listening now, is that the podcast does run a bit long.
Yep.
Mainly because we don't have us being able to write about this stuff or do videos about it will give us more detail be able to provide you more detail on that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than being able to have a 3-hour show here.
Yep.
To do all that stuff.
And we're also talking about doing some other smaller podcasts on the side. So kind of like side ops, but even shorter. Yep. Doing some Ryan wants to do a WoW themed one that I will never ever guest on.
Yeah. Or Magic the Gathering. We could finally talk about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
I can tell Drew all about my limited picks.
Yes.
And how to draft.
Yep.
Brocky over here wants to talk about Marvel.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
We also are going to probably do a react to Alien Covenant in a few weeks because, of course, Drew and I are big, huge Alien fans.
Yep.
So that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Exciting things. So, of course, last but not least, I forgot to mention as well, you can hit us up anytime at gamemoosecast@gmail.com. That's gamemoosecast@gmail.com. Of course, email your questions. Also, 2 weeks from now, listeners, we will be doing E3 predictions. So get those predictions in. Let us know what you predict will happen. We will read them and then critique them along with our predictions as well.
Critique them. That's a stupid idea. That's never going to happen.
You know what, Brock? Get the fuck out of here. You're kicked out.
We're going to pull them apart. Yeah, and then one of the fun things is we will also If you have any predictions that are correct, we can, while we're doing our E3 streams, we can talk about it and be like, hey, look, so and so was right.
We'll end up doing an E3 wrap up after the show, like we usually do. There will be a show dedicated just to wrapping up E3, as well as going over our predictions and adding up who won and who lost.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna be victorious right here. I'm putting it myself.
Yeah.
Hey,
prediction number 1: Halo 6 not gonna beat E3,
but Splinter Cell is.
Yeah.
What if it isn't though?
It is, right?
It is going to be.
It is.
Yeah.
What if the
Splinter Cell is happening?
What if it's become Assassin's Creed Egypt, and maybe that's a thing?
Yeah.
That already is a thing.
Maybe a new Prince of Persia. No. Who knows?
I want Prince of Persia back. I love Prince of Persia.
Sands of Time, Prince of Persia, or the other weird one-off sequel that they did.
I'll just take anything. I will take anything that is not the last one, the Forgotten Sands.
That one was brutal.
Yeah.
Was that the one with the princess?
That was the one that was based off the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they came out at the same time. Yeah, that was a really bad game. But like, I loved even the cel-shaded Prince of Persia.
Yes,
I like that game.
Right. That's the one I'm thinking of. That was the one I never played.
Yeah, Sands of Time was good too.
Sands of Time one. Yeah.
So, Drew Pugs, go.
I'm at D McMillan Twitter, and game-moose.com is a website where you should go for things.
Yes, exactly. Brock.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at Brock McLaughlin or BrockstarGaming.com, or you can find me on my free cams, Brockstar69.
Of course. And where can people go see you on Beam? How about that?
Beam.pro/Brockstar.
You got it.
Yeah. Add me.
Yeah.
Play some Forza.
Hells yeah. Or many other games. And last but not least, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. That's TURFORD. You can also find me on YouTube at youtube.com/Ryan Turford, and as well on the Game Moose YouTube page. Just search for that on YouTube. And of course, Beam. I'm on there as well. Beam.pro/Ryan Turford.
Yeah, I got to get on Beam.
You got to get a Beam account, Drew.
I got to turn my Xbox on.
You got to start earning those lightning points or whatever.
I'm a level 14.
And you can, to be fair, you can just pull it up on your laptop.
Yeah, well, I'm a level 69 dick wizard.
Oh, shit just got real, son.
Jealous.
Yeah. So.
That'll happen.
For Brew McMillan.
Bruce.
I hate everything right now. For Drew McMillan and Brock McLaughlin, I am Ryan Turford. This has been episode 79 of the Game Moose Podcast, and we're out.